Welcome, volleyball fans. We're back here in Minneapolis Gymnasium. Minneapolis getting ready to take on the Sacred Heart Lady Knights. Lady Knights coming off a pretty impressive season last year. Minneapolis, pretty tough draw here to open the home season here at home. Minneapolis went to Clay Center for a quad last week and did rather well. Junction City, Clay Center, Minneapolis Southeast, they were 2-1 there as Clay Center was able to nip the Lady Lions there. Minneapolis did handle Junction City's height and Southeast there and ended up the evening 2-1.
This is September 4th in the new 2007-8 school year.
Sacred Heart returns 4 starters off last year's 33-3 season, so pretty tough draw this early in the season here. National anthem.
That, I believe, was the voice of MHS alumnus Ann Labus, probably recording.
I just saw her this weekend.
I did too, at Walmart. The beautiful voice of the beautiful Ann Labus.
Katie Pratt, 6'1" senior. We finally get to see her graduate. As Dale mentioned earlier, Jared Shoemaker on the shelf with the rolled ankle, really purple the other night. It's looked like it's getting better. She is able to put a little more pressure on it. Still not 100% yet, and she will sit here today. And Abby Whitman. So Sacred Heart does unload a couple seniors this year. Schmidtberger will set a junior. And the Wilkins girl who tore us up in basketball. So Melanie Catron, Connor Fulton, Emily Fleming, Chantel Darrow, Tacey Pounds, and Shay Shoemaker.
There's a nice article in the Sacred Heart Journal this morning about the Knights.
Abby Semino, the libero, we were checking out earlier about the substitution rule this year. We'll find out just how liberal it is. It might be a little more liberal for the back row substitutions this year without stopping play. I think you still need to be acknowledged by the referees in charge.
Here we come, first home action of the year in volleyball. Probably against one of our more formidable opponents for the year.
As I mentioned earlier, Sacred Heart with a 33-4 record last year.
The Lions had a pretty decent record themselves. Got knocked out by the eventual, I think, state champion, wasn't it? Mound Ridge.
Mound Ridge.
Here on the home floor.
And they were tough.
Yes, they were. They took care of Sacred Heart the year before in Class 2A. Did they not?
Yes, they did. Well, they have their work cut out for them here tonight.
Number 12 just bopped right in there.
Now she is
she's a libero.
Yeah.
She can do that, libero.
Now when the other girl goes back in, she'll have to go in for the libero. Chantel to lead it off here. Nice serve. Pratt with the dig. Whitman set. And the tip. And back over it goes by Tacey Pounds. And that one's out. Wilkins with a big hit, goes out the back line, point Minneapolis. And Chantel's serve is in the net.
It's 1-all.
Side out to Sacred Heart. I'm sure you'll see a jump serve right here with Abby Whitman. Kinda, sorta. And Emily's pass goes right on over. They set in the middle. Schmidberger with the kill. 5'9", 5'9", 6 foot. They've got some height. The dig out there by Chantel, and it's knocked over by Fleming. And big kill by Pratt.
Just on the line.
3-1 Sacred Heart. Whitman still serving. Shea with the pass to Chantel. And we bump it on over as Pounds knocks it deep. Semino has to take it, and Pratt just bumps it over. Now a good attack at the net. Connor Fulton, it drops as Wilkins tries to one-hand it at the line, and it goes out of bounds. It's good to get Whitman off that service line. Connor's serve is good shape, but it does not go over in 3 as Semino tries to get it over. Now Connor Fulton with it all knotted at 3 apiece. Way out the back.
Now those girls could tell that was out before it even went over the net.
It was long. Wilkins. Now Pounds with a good set. Fleming's attack is handled by, and there's a nice block by Melanie Catron and Tacey Pounds. And that's what I thought as Mel gets ready to go to the back row. Jessica DeVries comes in to serve. And that one is just barely short. And so far, we're about 50% on our serves. Semino's serve is over. Pounds sets the middle. Fleming with a nice attack. Whitman not able to dig that kill by Fleming. And Tacey Pounds serve, probably the best consistent server we had last year at the service line. Can reel off quite a few. Now Whitman behind the 10-foot line attacks, and it's in. Now Schmidberger, jump serve. And that serve crawls up the arm of Connor Fulton, goes out the back. point Lady Knights. And that's out the back. Schmidberger 1 out of 2. Now Fleming. It's a nice serve as Wilkins takes it, and Pratt puts a slug on it. It was tipped, but it did hit the antennas out of bounds, so that's point Minneapolis.
Well, that construction is really causing some vibrations here in the gymnasium.
You know, I thought I felt the same thing, Dale. Leaning back against that wall now. Wilkins not able to handle that. I think it's Wilkins. Yes. That's in. Number 6 is the other Semino. They got 2 Semino girls on the floor. And yes, they're sisters to Dane, the quarterback. There's a big hit by Abby Whitman.
'98 Lady Lions.
Katie Pratt now, 6'1", probably the most sought-after female athlete in our league. 6'1", she plays very good basketball. As you remember, Dale, she likes to shoot the 3 ball. She stays out. That's her best game, is out there. It's like the girls are starting to sweat a little bit. Doesn't seem like it's too much over 100 in here.
It is up here. I know, but I don't know about on the floor.
10-9, Sacred Heart, Pratt. That's out.
I have to wonder if her college game will be in volleyball or basketball.
Most girls won't tackle the chore that Jordan Crowson is after this year, playing both.
Yep.
Shea's serve is over in good shape. Semino's pass, quick set to Whitman, and it's down the corner for point Sacred Heart.
My future daughter-in-law down at Bethany, her freshman year was out of Salina Central, was in basketball and softball, and softball was her first love, and she decided after 1 year, one sport was enough. Because she liked her good grades.
Semino. Fleming with a nice pass. Now Catron with a nice attack from the corner. That's tipped over. Pounds. It's almost a double hit on that set.
We were in the net, I guess.
We were in the net. Ball was in anyway, so point Sacred Heart. Well, we traveled to Belleville this Friday.
Take on the Buffs of Public County. Up.
Chantel with a nice save there as Connor Fulton hits through the block of Whitman. Now, good attack by Connor is out of bounds.
That will be no easy task, I don't believe.
Oh, they handled Southeast rather well last week, I think.
Southeast is pretty young, but still it will be no easy task.
Pounds set, and Fulton hammers it on over. I think that would have been out as Wilkins comes to the net. Timeout, Coach Mack. Sacred Heart now with a 14-10 lead and the serve.
Republic County features a junior class that was undefeated and very obnoxiously good 3 years ago as 8th graders. They have a good quarterback, Roberts. So saw in basketball last year, very good.
He ran for quite a few yards last week, I know.
have two 6'5", 275-pound twin brothers that came over from Cuba Hillcrest and the consolidation last year. They didn't play in the varsity game last year, but I imagine if they're any good, they'll probably play this year.
Oh, yeah. Semino and Pounds can just barely get an arm on it. I don't know if that was right in between Fleming and Pounds.
Sacred Heart starting to pull away here.
And we're having trouble with our passes on the back row. Shea with a nice pass that time, and Chantel, that didn't go over. With a nice set, Mel's attack hit the tape and bounced back on our side. Wilkins mishit, does not make it over. Chantel's serve is over in good shape now. Whitman with the set. Pratt with the attack from the back row. And that doesn't go over. Now Jessica DeVries comes back in for Mel. Back set to Fulton. She hammers it across, and Semino digs it in the back row. And Wilkins hammers it down the corner, point Sacred Heart, and it's all of a sudden 20-11. Whitman now with the jump serve. Chantel back set. Fulton. A nice tip at the net by Tacey, and that's not going over. Point Sacred Heart. That's a nice pass by Emily Fleming. Now Jessica DeVries. Sacred Heart's in the net, though. Side out to Minneapolis. Connors. Serve handcuffs Pratt on the back row. I think it would have went out the back, but she took it. That one would have been out. Shea took it, and Chantel knocks it over. There's a nice dig by Fulton. And a nice save by Minneapolis.
Palmed it. Valiant effort.
Yes. Wilkins hits a knuckler, and it dies right at the front line. And Coach Mack wants a quick timeout as Sacred Heart now out to a 10-point lead, 23-13. And Dale was right. It is starting to warm up a little bit in here. As you can tell, some of the girls are perspiring.
This one young lady told me many years ago, women don't sweat, they perspire.
Oh, perspire.
Is that what you heard?
I stand corrected.
No, you said perspiring. It just reminded me when you said that.
Well, it looks like they're starting to sweat now. That's a nice serve by Wilkins. Pounds set goes directly over to Fleming. Shea. Good attack by Fleming, goes out of bounds. And the side out.
Game point here for the Lady Knights.
Sacred Heart. Wilkins. Chantel's pass is good shape now. Fleming. They pancake out to get it, but it hits the floor. As Wilkins with a nice try. Side out to Minneapolis, Jessica DeVries. Heading go over, and it's first game to Sacred Heart, 25-14. And we'll be back with the second game here in just a minute.
All right, we're back. Game 2 of match 1. Whitman serves again for the Knights.
Semino for Semino. As libero comes in. And you know, Jessica DeVries has been subbing in. I haven't watched to see if they stop play. And she bangs it on over there in 3 now, the jump set. That's stopped by Shea. As we're there at the net for defense. Pounds outside DeVries. Pratt gets an arm on it now. Whitman knocks it over. It's also tipped by Schmidberger. Well, Pounds with a double hit there, not called it. Set went off just a little bit, and DeVries couldn't get a hand on it.
I say, wait a minute, we have 1 point on the board. They have 0, so why do they have the ball? I was confused.
He called them in the net.
I was confused.
He called them in the net, point Minneapolis. Good. Whitman. Schmidberger with the attack. Hammers it down the back row, point Sacred Heart. By Shea Shoemaker. Do I have the wrong person here? Yeah, Schmidberger. Nice attack by Shea Shoemaker. Now Jessica DeVries. And the pass by Sacred Heart comes over and drops in between the front and the back row. Team speed is oh so important. Pounds. That's blocked by Pratt. Point Sacred Heart. Nice dig by Chantel. Now Whitman with the set, and Semino with the hit on the outside. It goes. Number 10 is in. That's the other Semino. Good grief, they got 3 of them. And that attack goes out the back.
Where's the third one?
Nope, just 2. There's a nice attack. from the back row. Fulton. Semino's pass up front. Whitman with an attack from the back row. And it finds an open spot as Shoemaker makes a play on it. And it drops to the floor. Point Sacred Heart. Now Schmidberger jump serve. It drops in. Kind of a dinker there.
She found the spot there, didn't she?
Schmidberger, a junior. Pratt and Francis are the only seniors. It's a nice attack by Connor Fulton. Now Abby Whitman. Shoemaker sets it on over. Schmidberger with the set. What a block by Minneapolis at the net as Pratt comes up and hammers one across. Now we're playing defense. That's blocked. Now back to Fulton in the middle. It goes over. Back row attack was just tipped over. Schmidberger to Whitman. It's out. They're asking for the tip, but they're not getting it. It went out the back. Point Minneapolis. Now Shoemaker. Back set to Pratt. It doesn't make it over either. Point Minneapolis. And we got a wet one. 7-5 Sacred Heart. Shea Shoemaker's serve goes under the net. Now Pratt, 8-5 Sacred Heart. Be nice to get a side out right here. Here we go. 8-4. Pratt, jump serve. It's over in good shape. Nice dig by Shea. Fleming backhands it on over. Now Whitman with a tip. Nice tape shot by Fleming is handled by Wilkins. And Pratt hit it at the same time. It hits the tape and does not go over. Fleming's serve is out. Semino took a look and let her go. Nice pass by Tacey Pounds. And DeVries quick to the net.
Beautiful.
Always nice to have a little quickness. And Jess DeVries comes to the net and hammers one down. Point Minneapolis. Now Connor Fulton. Whitman's set to Wilkins, and her attack was out the corner.
It was, I believe, 12-9 when we left. It's 15-10 now in favor of the Knights. We had a timeout, which allowed us to rewind without losing more action than we needed to.
Schmidberger with the service here. Sacred Heart leading by 5. Nice dig by Jess. And a good attack by Emily Fleming. Back set. It's out. As Semino cranks one up out the back line. And Minneapolis right back in this thing as Tacey Pounds gets ready to serve just down 4. She's tape shot. And we dig it twice. And can't quite get it over. Nice hustle there by the ladies. Thought they had a play on it. Now Pratt. And it'd be nice to break this service right here. The pass after Shea's bump went in the net, and there's no way to get it over. Point, Lady Knights. That's in. Goodness, I thought that was going to go out the back, but it was dying at the end, and it ended up right on the line. 18-11. Nice pass by Shea. Tacey with the back set to Emily Fleming. It was headed for the corner.
I think that one might have gone out if she left alone. We'll take it. It's 18-12, Sacred Heart.
Nice serve, Emily Fleming. And the JV girls are back from the grade school gym. As Semino's pass goes almost out of bounds, they recover. Now a good set by Connor. And that attack by Whitman goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis as Emily Fleming will serve. And that's a nice serve.
We were in the net.
They call us in the net. They were under the net, over the line, but no harm. As Semino now wants a dry ball.
Had perspiration all over it, I guess.
So they give it to Meckel. Nice set. Chantel moving backwards. Still put it on the money. Now Pounds bumps it. Fulton. That's tipped by Whitman. It goes right in the middle. Point Lady Knights. Schmidberger from the back row. Now the set. It's tipped. And Semino's in the net. (2015) Connor Fulton serving for Minneapolis. It's short and good. Lands right on the midcourt line. 2016. Whitman to Wilkins, and they find the open corner. Whitman serve is just a lazy one, and now DeVries' attack goes out of bounds, and Coach Mack wants a quick timeout. 22-16, Sacred Heart. What?
Say that again.
We did know it was going to be kind of a tough draw here as Sacred Heart. Pretty strong team. They come to the net, they attack well, and they serve rather well. They got the height. They do a good job at the net blocking, and so Minneapolis right here in this second game, though.
Well, as I said, returning four starters from a state qualifying team last year, Class 3A. Most who probably played on their state qualifying team in 2A also, I imagine. A couple years before that.
I would imagine. Whitman
and Pratt probably did. Maybe Schmidberger or some.
Now the bump tipped by Shea. Semino's there to play it. And Pratt hammers it on over. Jessica DeVries with a good attack. Schmidberger in the net as Shea was there to block. Point Minneapolis. Just what we needed. Now Darrow with a spinning serve. It doesn't go over as Wilkins attack at the net. Falls on Sacred Heart's side. Point Minneapolis. Semino, Whitman. And Schmidberger comes from the outside. Drops one in the middle. Point Sacred Heart. 23-18. More respectable this game. Wilkins serving. Shea's attack goes to the corner. Wilkins has to take it. Now Semino's hit is way out the back. The libero thought she was 6'1" and just a little bit out the back line. DeVries now opts not to do the jump serve. And serves in much better shape. Goes over. Now Minneapolis back in this ball game. Back in this match. 23-20. Tip by Schmidberger. Now Fleming. Pratt. And the dig on the back row by Connor Fulton goes up in the rafters, comes back down. Now
game point.
Game and match point right here as Sacred Heart serves. DeVries pounds for the set. And we break service. As it looked like a pinball machine back there. As our tip goes right over. Now Shea Shoemaker's serve is over in good shape. Back row attack by Whitman, and we do get it over. Schmidberger now tipped by Pratt. And that's out. Fulton's corner shot just outside the line. And we make a little bit of noise here late in the second game of the first match. Sacred Heart wins it 25-21. Played a little better defense there in the second game of this match.
Better than our first.
Yeah, Sacred Heart kind of had their way.
By 7 points. So.
Well, we'll have a JV game, and then we'll be back with another varsity match here in just about 40-45 minutes.
Well, we're back for match 2. And the varsity on Sacred Heart, Minneapolis here.
Sacred Heart took the first match in 2.
14-25 and 21-25.
Made it respectable there in the second game. Now Sacred Heart looking for the sweep here tonight. And we need to get one of these.
Well, they don't play, they just play each team once in the league. They don't play them home and home, do they, in volleyball?
That's correct.
Okay. Next up is at Beloit on September 11th.
(9-11). DeVries, Shoemaker, Fleming, Fulton, Darrow, and Pounds. And we'll see if Mel subs in on the front line.
By golly, that's going to be on a Tuesday again, isn't it? Just like it was in 2001.
I got to work with a whole new set of numbers over on the Knights side. Whitman, Semino, and a set by Semino. It's hammered over. Now DeVries comes to the net, and a nice save by Shoemaker. And Whitman knocks it on over. Wilkins was the name I couldn't grasp. Now Whitman to serve. Jump serve, it's over. Darrow. Shoemaker comes to the net. It's tipped by Schmidberger. That looked like it was headed down to the floor as Wilkins drops the hammer on one. And point Sacred Heart, 2-0 Lady Knights here to start the second match of the evening, varsity girls. That pass is coming over, and Wilkins a little bit anxious on the hit, sends it out the back line. Now DeVries to serve for Minneapolis. Pratt jumps set by Whitman, and Schmidberger comes to the net and drops a hammer on it. It lands in the middle. Point Sacred Heart. Now Wilkins. And the pass comes over, and Schmidberger just tips it down. For a point. Nice dig by and Pratt hammers it down. Connor Fulton with a good dig back there. Jessica DeVries couldn't reach that big hit by Katie Pratt. Nice dig by Darrow, and Casey Pound sets it on over. That's on the line as Semino finds the range from the outside.
Coach Mack takes timeout. We'll be back.
Dale and I are talking, Bob Mortimer in the crowd, about Amy Mortimer. She ran in one of the trials out west. It was out at Washington. She led the whole race, with the exception of the last 400 meters, where she didn't have enough left to finish in the top 5, but right with the caliber of runners she was running with, world class. It drops on Sacred Heart's side as Shea comes to the net and tiptoes the line. It's called a point Minneapolis. And Shea will serve. Whitman set to Pratt. Wow, big hit there.
Yeah, I think he told me that Amy qualified to go to the Olympics last time, or the trials last time, but got 6th in the actual Olympic qualifications. So didn't make it the trip.
Schmidberger in the net. 3-8. Sacred Heart leading. Tacey Pounds rears back and hits the serve mid-court. Semino bumps it on over. Shea's pass goes backwards. And DeVries comes to the net. Schmidberger just tips it on over, and it lands right in the middle. 9-3 Sacred Heart. Jump serve. Connor Fulton's attack goes to the back row, and Sacred Heart takes it. Tacey Pound set. Emily Fleming tip. Now Whitman rears back. And we get it over in 3. Whitman's attack goes in the net. That's point Minneapolis.
A little trickiness didn't work there.
Deep serve by Fleming. And Semino. There now Pounds with a nice set. DeVries. Outside hit by Abby Whitman. Right on the line. Or close to it anyway. Now Katie Pratt, jump serve. Pass came over and Wilkins right there. 11-4. Set by Wilkins, and Abby Whitman drops the hammer on it. Nobody home. Point Lady Knights, 12-4. Net serve. Pratt gives it back to Minneapolis. Semino comes in for Pratt. Semino's bump pass to Schmidberger, over to Wilkins. And Shea tips it on over, finds an open spot. It drops in. Something you will not see much is Katie Pratt on the bench. Whether it's basketball or volleyball. Connor Fulton's a nice deep serve, and that's tipped on over by Abby Whitman. She went over. Point to Minneapolis. Connor Fulton's been right on it on the serves. Now jump set by Schmidberger. Pounds. DeVries finds the hole in the back row. It drops in. Point Minneapolis. And one more. We're right back in this thing. Little deep. DeVries bumps that on over. Now Whitman set. Tape shot goes on over. Point Minneapolis. Set on over by Whitman, and our set goes out of bounds. The libero is Francis. I've been calling her Semino, and that's why I thought there were 3 of them a while ago. Now,
I can say Whitman. They sure didn't look alike. That's the case. But nice you never know with fraternal twins, you know, if they were.
Yes, 12 and 10 are twins. Now Francis with a nice pass up. And Semino, tipped by Tacey, goes on over. Now Schmidberger with the big hit. And Shea Shoemaker. Nice dig by Chantel. Fleming tips it. Nice set by Chantel. Now Shea finds the middle in the back row, and Francis could not get to it. Out the back way, Schmidberger. Well, they're fighting back, Dale.
Yep. 12-14.
Semino hammers it down to the floor, and Pratt comes back in for the other Semino. (15-12), Sacred Heart. Tacey Pounds with a nice back set to Connor Fulton. Tip. And the back set by Shea goes right over to Pratt. She taps it down for an easy point. Pounds with a good set. Pancakes out. Semino with the save. Schmidberger. Boy, they can find the corner, can't they?
Sure can. Very skilled at that. Corners and the sides. Backhands, not so much.
Semino now serving for Sacred Heart. I don't know if that would have been in or not. Chantel had to take it. Almost looked long, but it's hard to tell. They are diving down to the floor.
Gonna be a timeout here.
Tape shot by Semino finds the floor, and Minneapolis finds themselves down 7, 19-12 here in the first game of this second match. And a quick timeout by Coach Mack.
Lucy, I'll be back.
(19-12), Semino rears back and knocks it over. Pounds. Fleming comes to get that set, as Pounds, all she could do is bump it. Comes to the middle of the net and hammers it over for a point, Minneapolis. Now Shoemaker. Francis with a good dig. Pratt looking for the corner. Wedman. White court vision finds a very open spot on the back row. And Pratt with another kill. Francis right on the line.
That was wicked.
And that one didn't make it over. Stacy Newton is the sub in on the front row for the Lady Knights. Tacey Pounds with a good serve. Tipped on over by Schmidberger. It's at the middle. It does not go over in 3. Side out to Sacred Heart. 22-14, Schmidberger. Jess with a nice pass to the front and a good set as Fulton is set in the middle. Tipped over by Pratt. Fleming. And Whitman with a big hit right out the back. Now Fleming to serve for Minneapolis. That pass come over and Fulton tries to tip it back in, and it's stuffed by Katie Pratt. Now Pratt serving 23-15, jump serve. Our pass goes over. Schmidberger. Whitman's attack is in the net, but rolls over the tape, and we cannot pull it out on the other side. 24-15. Nice dig by Tacey and a set by Chantel. That's out as DeVries comes to the net for the attack. It rolls down the tape and out of bounds. Point Sacred Heart, and that's the way the first game of this second match ends. 25-15. We'll be back with the second game here in just a minute.
We're back for game 2. The Knights to serve.
Whitman to lead it off for the Knights. Second game, second match. Jump serve. Fulton with a nice dig. And DeVries attack at the net. Goes way out the back. One nothing, Sacred Heart. Nice pass by Emily. That's stuffed by Wilkins. And another one. Wilkins with 2 blocks there. Fleming. We tip it on over. Nice set by Whitman and Newton. Yeah, Newton comes to the net with a nice attack. Reserve hitter. Whitman still serving. Nice set by Darrow. Back a little bit. Shea had to take a step back, and it did not go over. Net. Thank you very much. Chantel with a nice serve. Nice set by Schmidberger, I think. And a kill by Pratt. Wilkins. Pounds on the outside, hammers one over. Whitman sets it on over, way out of bounds. Point Lady Lions. Pratt unloads as Shea tries to block the net, and it comes right on through.
I must say, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far from the Knights.
I think you're looking at one of the top 3 teams in the state.
Not made a basket there.
Probably our league champion right here in volleyball.
I would guess.
Francis still serving. Now they bump it on over. Schmidberger. Chantel sets the middle. Shea is stuffed by Pratt.
I would guess the Southeast isn't going to challenge them. I don't know about Ellsworth or Beloit, but.
Well, the only team that I would think would have a chance would be the Republic County girls, because they have two tall girls still yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they possibly could be pretty tough. Back set to Schmidberger and Pratt. With not a big strike that time. Shoemaker with a nice serve. Semino with a big hit. That drops on our side. Point, Sacred Heart. That is out the back. Now Tacey Pounds. And for as big as the Sacred Heart girls are, they are pretty agile. They come to the net very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They've got good foot speed and lateral movement for big girls.
Within 3, 9-6.
Nice dig by Francis, set by.
Hits the face of Shea Shoemaker, I think.
Yeah, face shot. That attack goes off the schnoz of Shea Shoemaker, trying to get out of the way because she knew it was going out the back line. Now Pratt, 10-6, Sacred Heart. Pounds with the set. Fulton knocks it on over. And Francis does get it over. Nice recovery, but it goes out of bounds. Pratt still serving, 11-6, Sacred Heart. Nice hustle by Schmidberger. But her dig goes out of bounds. Point Minneapolis.
11-7.
Nice attack. Wilkins from the outside. Knocks it down. Now Newton back in for Francis as Lobero takes a seat. Nice stuff by Whitman. And Wilkins, and it drops on our side. Point, Sacred Heart. Quick timeout by Coach Mack, and we'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. And that serve by Semino finds the floor. We could not dig it. It's a little longer in Pounds. It's that one now. Fulton knocks it on over. Goes out.
Like I say, that one looked out to me.
Pounds with a good eye there. Let it go. Wide. Now Connor Fulton. Francis. Pass goes right on over and lands right in the middle on right behind our front row. Whitman Whitman asking coach if that would have been out or not. I think it would have been. That was a real good serve, but is even better dig on the back row by Tacey Pounds. And there's another one. DeVries with a good attack, and Pratt with the save. Tacey sets the middle, and Shoemaker with the tip right in the middle. That's good. (16-9). Lady Knights, now Chantel.
Call a push.
Two-hand set in the back row. Pratt caught with the lift.
Or lift, I guess, yeah.
And Dale's right. You can call it a two-hand push. Schmidberger cleans up on the outside. She's been their big offense from the outside tonight. Pounds with a nice attack. Whitman with the set. It's blocked by Shoemaker, but it drops on our side. Point to Sacred Heart. Wilkins jump serve way out the back. Big hit goes out the back row. Point Minneapolis. Jessica DeVries still serving. Nice tip by Shoemaker right back in Schmidberger's lap. They're able to recover. Another tip. Way under the net, Schmidberger, point Minneapolis, as Shoemaker tips it again. And a little missed timing on the jump there and hit as Pratt misses the ball. And Minneapolis back in this volleyball match. I wouldn't say ball game, but it's actually a match. Nice set by Chantel. And a nice save by Sacred Heart. Tip. They return the favor. Chantel's bump. Shoemaker. Tip to the net by Pratt. And Schmidberger, as she has all night long, drops one in. Actually hit the tape and dropped in for a point. Francis. Back set to Shoemaker. And she's called with the lift as she tries to tip it over. 2014.
We'll be back.
Here we go. Francis serving for Sacred Heart. Minneapolis needing to get back in this thing. Chantel has one run up her arm. Now Pratt. The big middle. Hammers it down. Point Sacred Heart. Hit the net barely, went over, lands right in between our front and back row. Now Francis still serving. Chantel backs up to take that one. Now Connor Fulton finds the middle on their side for a point, Minneapolis. Shay Shoemaker serving now for Lady Lions. Back set, Pratt. Nice dig. At the pass, came back over as either Schmidberger, I think.
Almost looked like a two-handed catch there on that.
Almost did, didn't it? Shoemaker with a nice dig. Now Pounds. Back row attack by Jessica DeVries. Comes up a little short.
Game point here for the Knights.
Game and match point. 24-15. Pounds. Fulton with the attack goes over. And the set clear to the other side of the court, and Semino could not handle it. And it goes, drops on their side, point for the Lady Lions now. Casey Pounds. Back set, Pratt. That dig goes out of bounds, and that's the way it's going to end. 25-16, Sacred Heart. Well, for the first match of the year here at home, it was a tough one with the Sacred Heart Knights as state volleyball participating team last year, qualifying with a 33-4 record. That's the way they ended up last year anyway.
Most probably will be the class of the league. And
really couldn't think of, unless Ellsworth has got something that I don't know of, but
well, they had, I don't know if they have how much height they have back. They just had a lot of good athletes.
Right. Speed and quickness.
Yeah.
And good athletes.
Minneapolis girls go on the 11th next Tuesday to Beloit. And then have a round robin the following Saturday in Russell. Following Tuesday at Southeast of Saline before they host a triangular tournament here in Minneapolis on the 20th. So those are some of the varsity contests coming up for the Lady Lions. Come out and support them if you can.
Well, this Sacred Heart bunch is pretty good. They come to the net. They're pretty quick for big gals, and do a good job hitting.
They prove to me they're not much. They're not. You can't mess with them much anyway.
Right. Well, we'll see you in Beloit in a week or so, probably.
All right.
Or I'll be there anyway. Kendall will play earlier on, but I'll try and catch. I'd like to do is catch a JV game and a varsity game. I know there are 3 or 4 parents that have told me they're out of town and missed some of the matches, so I might try and put a JV match on sometime. I don't think the tape's enough to get all 3 on, so I'm going to have to do 1 and 1.
Yep.
So Dale, thanks for coming in.
Dale Leach and Mike Perry signing off. Thanks for having us in your home, folks. Brought to you here on MCTV Eagle Communications by the Linebackers.